Very good afternoon to one and all, and I welcome you all in the next lecture of heat transfer. Please let me know whether my voice is audible and can you see my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Great. For good visibility of screen and the figure, I suggest you can rotate your screen and you can use the zoom feature also. Okay. Okay, we'll start the lecture. So in last lecture, we have discussed the heat generation in the wall. Okay, and for that reason, we have considered the two cases. Case number one is when both the surfaces of wall having same temperature, that is nothing but TW. So in that case, we come to know that we have calculated uh, the maximum. First of all, we have discussed the general equation with the constant, and then we have calculated the maximum temperature location. Okay, and we will get that at the middle of the wall, and further we have calculated the or we have derived the maximum temperature at that particular location. Okay, then we have considered that there is a heat dissipation from the surface of a wall, and further we have considered that particular heat dissipation in case of maximum temperature. Okay, for the maximum temperature equation, and we have once again derived that maximum temperature equation when the heat is dissipated from the surface of wall to the surrounding. Okay, heat is dissipated from the surface of wall to the surrounding. So in that manner, we have discussed the first case, and in second case, we have considered that both the surfaces of wall having different temperatures. So in that case, we have calculated or we have derived the temperature distribution equation. Okay, so now in the today's lecture, we are going to understand the heat generation in case of a cylinder. Okay, cylinder with a heat generation. Okay, so cylinder means what? We know that it is having circular cross section and it is having some length. So that is nothing but a cylinder. Here we are going to consider one rod. Okay, not a hollow cylinder. We are going to consider a rod. Okay, so rod is there, which is rod means what? It is a solid material. It is completely filled and doesn't have any cavity inside that. So rod, we are going to consider here one rod. So this is the top view of that particular rod, and this is the one can say that this is the front view of the rod. So in top view, we will get the cross section of that particular rod, and in the front view, we will get the length of the rod. Okay, in the front view, we will get the length of the rod. So here we are going to consider that the rod is having length L. Okay, rod is having length L, and the radius of the rod is capital R. Okay, what we are going to consider, the radius of rod is capital R. Okay, now the surface of that particular rod is maintained at, or it is having the temperature of a T suffix W or TW. Okay, it is having the temperature of a TW. Okay, and this rod is also disseminating or transferring the heat to the external environment. Okay, to the external environment or external air which is surrounding to that particular rod. Okay, and the surrounding temperature we have to consider as T suffix A as a air temperature. T suffix A is the air temperature, and the heat transfer coefficient in between a rod surface and the external environment is H. Okay, heat transfer coefficient between the rod surface and the external environment is H. Okay, now this particular rod is generating heat of Q suffix G, that is the amount of heat generated per unit volume per unit time. Small q suffix G is nothing but amount of heat generated by the rod per unit volume per unit time. Okay, so here for the derivation purpose, we are going to consider one element. Okay, for the derivation purpose, we are going to consider one element in that particular rod having the thickness of a dr. So element thickness is dr. Okay, so here you can see that this is the element thickness. This dotted line, two concentric dotted lines you can see here. This element we have considered, and thickness of that element is dr. Okay, thickness of that element is dr, and that particular element is located at a distance of r. Okay, that particular element is located or situated at a distance of r, or having the radius of that particular element is r. Okay, that particular element is having r, or it is located at a distance of r from the center of rod. Okay, from the center of rod. Getting everyone? Now we are going to consider this particular diagram for the further derivation, or for the further calculation for the heat generation in a cylindrical rod. Getting everyone? So consider a cylinder rod in which one dimensional radial conduction is taking place under steady station. Okay, one dimensional radial heat conduction is there. So one dimensional radial heat conduction means what? One dimensional radial heat conduction means what? One dimensional means what? Heat is flowing only in a one direction. That is our assumption. Okay, heat is flowing in three-dimensional way, but for the calculation purpose, for the simplicity reason, we are considering the one-dimensional heat flow. Okay, and your syllabus is constrained to that much, that you have to consider the one-dimensional heat transfer. Okay, now here the heat is transforming radially. Okay, radially means what? From the center of that particular rod, towards its surface, from the center towards its surface, heat is transforming. In that case, we can say that it is a radial heat transform. It is a radial heat transfer. Getting everyone? So we are going to consider a cylinder rod in which one dimensional radial conduction is taking place and under steady state conduction. So steady state means what? There is no change in temperature with respect to time. So that is nothing but steady state. Okay, and we have considered r is the radius of the rod. Complete radius we have considered as a capital R. Okay, L is equal to length of rod. L is equal to length of rod, and K is the uniform thermal conductivity of rod. Okay, K is the uniform thermal conductivity of rod. Then we have discussed just now that Q suffix small q suffix G is the uniform volumetric heat generation. That is nothing but heat generated per unit volume per unit time. Okay, uniform volumetric heat generation per unit volume per unit time. Then H we have to consider as heat transfer coefficient between the surface of rod and the external environment. Okay, between the surface of rod and the external environment. And what is the external ambient temperature or external air temperature is T suffix A, and the wall surface or the cylinder surface temperature or the rod surface temperature we have to consider as T suffix W. Okay, we have to consider as T suffix W. Getting everyone? Whether you understood the diagram? Okay, so draw the diagram, everyone. Draw diagram. I will give you 2 minutes. Simple freehand sketching is required. Okay, now this internal two concentric circles are nothing but element we have considered, and external dotted line shows that there is a environment outside this particular wall, or there is a ambient air is there, external environment is there, and we have to consider that the heat dissipation from surface of rod to the external environment. Okay, surface of rod to the external environment. Getting everyone? Is there any question, any doubt? So draw the diagram. Give appropriate nomenclatures, okay, so that the derivation will be more understandable, or will not miss any part out of that particular derivation. If you give proper nomenclature, whether figure is visible, everyone, you can use the zoom feature. Okay, figure is somewhat faint, so you can zoom it and draw it, rotate screen and zoom it. Okay, what will happen if you mic 100%? It is better. Whether my screen is visible to you? Whether my screen is visible?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So internet issue is there. Okay. 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, now it is visible. I'm sharing my phone network to PC. So it is now visible. You can draw it. Quickly draw it. Or shall I move ahead for the next elaboration? So write down, consider a cylinder, write down, consider a cylinder rod, consider a cylinder rod in which, consider a cylinder rod in which 1D radial conduction is taking place. Consider a cylinder rod in which 1D, one-dimensional radial conduction is taking place under steady state condition, under steady state condition, under steady state condition, under steady state conditions, full stop, let, comma, next line, R is equal to radius of the rod, R is equal to radius of the rod, R is equal to radius of the rod, R is equal to radius of the rod. Capital L is equal to length of the rod, capital L is equal to length of the rod. K is equal to uniform thermal conductivity of the rod. K is equal to uniform thermal conductivity of the rod. K is equal to uniform thermal conductivity of the rod. Small q suffix g, small q suffix g, small q suffix g is equal to uniform volumetric heat generation, uniform volumetric heat generation, uniform volumetric heat generation per unit volume per unit time, per unit volume per unit time. Then next, small h is equal to heat transfer coefficient. Small h is equal to heat transfer coefficient. Heat transfer coefficient. Then T suffix A is equal to ambient temperature. T suffix A is equal to ambient temperature. Ambient temperature. Next, T suffix W is equal to surface temperature. Surface temperature of rod. Okay. T suffix W is equal to surface temperature. T suffix W is equal to surface temperature. Next line, write down. For obtaining temperature distribution, for obtaining temperature distribution, for obtaining temperature distribution with internal heat generation, for obtaining temperature distribution with internal heat generation, with internal heat generation, comma, let us consider one element of thickness dr. Let us consider one element of thickness dr. Let us consider one element of thickness dr at a distance of r. Okay, at a distance of small r. Okay, at a distance of small r from the center of rod. From the center of rod. Okay, from the center of rod. Now once again we have to consider the heat conducted to the element. Okay, that is nothing but heat entering inside the element at a distance of r, then heat generated by the element, okay, and heat leaving the element, okay, or heat coming out of the element. Okay, so here we can say that the q suffix r amount of heat is entering or transferring to that particular element, okay, which is situated at a r distance, okay, which is situated at a r distance. So this heat conducted to the element can be given as q suffix r, okay, and according to Fourier's law, we know that Fourier's law is minus k multiplied by a multiplied by dt divided by dx. But here, the thickness of that particular rod, we have to consider as a radius difference. Okay, radius difference, nothing but the thickness of that particular rod. So instead of dx, in case of rod, we have to consider as a dr. Okay, instead of dx, we have to consider as a dr. So our heat conducted in the element at a radius of r, at a distance r from the center, is given by q suffix r is equal to minus k multiplied by a multiplied by dt divided by dr. That is our equation number 1. Give this equation number 1. Write down. ओके, फर्दर नाउ हीट इंटर होने वाली हमें पता चल गई, अब बाहर कितनी निकलेगी. ओके, बाहर कितनी निकलेगी, तो जो अंदर आई हुई है और जो जनरेट की हुई है उसमें से कुछ चेंज होकर बाहर निकलेगी. ओके, जो अंदर आई हुई हीट है उसमें से कुछ चेंज होकर हीट बाहर निकलेगी. तो हमें क्या करना है, व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, वी हैव टू कंसीडर दैट हीट कंडक्टेड आउट एट अ रेडियस r प्लस dr. ओके, एलिमेंट कहाँ पे लोकेट किया है, r डिस्टेंस पर लोकेट किया है सेंटर से, और उस एलिमेंट का थिकनेस कितना है, dr इतना है. तो हीट कितने डिस्टेंस से बाहर निकलेगी, एलिमेंट से r प्लस dr डिस्टेंस से बाहर निकलेगी. तो बाहर निकलने वाली हीट को हमने नॉमेनक्लेचर दिया है q सफिक्स r प्लस dr. ओके, q सफिक्स r प्लस dr. सो विच इज इक्वल टू अंदर आने वाली हीट कितनी है हमारी, q सफिक्स r इतनी है, उसमें कुछ चेंज होकर बाहर निकलेगी. सो q सफिक्स r प्लस डिफरेंशिएशन ऑफ q सफिक्स r विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू r multiply by dr. Okay, that will be our heat conducted out at a radius r plus dr. Okay, heat conducted out at a radius r plus dr. Getting everyone? Please write down this equation. Now heat conducted out at a radius r plus dr is, heat conducted out at a radius r plus dr is q suffix r plus dr is equal to q suffix r plus differentiation of q suffix r with respect to r multiply by dr. Okay, so that will be our equation number 2. Okay, and the last equation is heat generation in the element. Okay, heat generation in the element. So heat generation per unit volume per unit time is nothing but q suffix g. Okay, heat generation per unit volume per unit time is nothing but q suffix g. Okay, then the we want only heat generation per unit time, so that we have to multiply with this particular heat generation per unit time with the volume of the element. Okay, so volume of the element is nothing but the 2 pi rl multiplied by dr. So this is 2 pi rl is the area of that particular element, and the thickness, area multiplied by thickness, will get the volume of element. Okay, volume of element. So remember this thing, we'll get volume of element. So 2 pi rl multiplied by dr is the volume of element, where this 2 pi rl is the area and multiplied by dr is nothing but dr is the thickness. Okay, so heat generation per unit time will get as heat generation per unit volume per unit time, that is nothing but q suffix g multiplied by volume. Okay, so that will be our equation number 3. Now we have to apply the energy balance equation at the element. Okay, we have to apply the energy balance equation at the element. What is meant by energy balance equation? So energy balance means what? How much heat coming inside the element, how much heat is generated by the element, and how much heat is leaving that particular element. Okay, so energy balance equation will be written in this particular manner: heat entering in the element plus heat generated in the element is equal to heat leaving the element. Okay, heat leaving the element. So Q suffix R plus Q suffix G is equal to Q suffix R plus dr. Okay, Q suffix R plus Q suffix G is equal to Q suffix R plus dr. Okay, so we know these three equations, okay, for Q suffix G, for Q suffix R, and for Q suffix R plus dr. Okay, so we can write from equation number 1, 2, 3. Just put up initial equation for Q suffix R plus dr. Okay, so Q suffix R plus dr is nothing but Q suffix R plus differentiation of a Q suffix R multiplied by dr. Okay, differentiation of Q suffix R with respect to R multiplied by dr. So we are replacing Q suffix R plus dr by this particular equation. Okay, once we replace this equation, now here from this equation Q suffix R and Q suffix R will be cancelled. Okay, and only on the left hand side what is remaining, Q suffix G will remain, and on the right hand side differentiation of Q suffix R with respect to R multiplied by dr. So that part only is remaining. Everyone with me? Now next, what we have to put up? We know the equation for Q suffix G, okay, capital Q suffix G, and that is nothing but small q suffix G multiplied by 2 pi RL multiplied by dr, okay, which is equal to differentiation of Q suffix R with respect to R. Now we know what is meant by Q suffix R and equation for Q suffix R. So this equation we have put up inside the bracket, inside the differentiation, that is nothing but minus K multiplied by A multiplied by dt divided by dr multiplied by dr multiplied by dr. Okay, and area for the cylinder, we know that area for that particular element is 2 pi RL. Area for the element is 2 pi RL. So instead of area, we have put up 2 pi RL, and K is constant. Negative sign and K we have taken outside the bracket. Okay, negative sign and K we have taken outside the bracket. And area formula we have put up in the equation. Area formula we have put up in the equation. Okay. Write down equation. Q suffix G multiplied by 2 pi RL multiplied by dr is equal to minus K multiplied by differentiation of a bracket with respect to R, in the bracket 2 pi RL multiplied by dt divided by dr, bracket complete, multiplied by dr, multiplied by dr. Okay, over. Now next we have to take the common 2 pi L and 2 pi L out of the bracket. Okay, from this particular formula also we can take out of the bracket, that is 2 pi L only, because these are the constants. But R we can't take out of the bracket because we are taking the differentiation with respect to R. So R is not constant. So we have kept R inside the bracket only. Okay, so we have taken 2 pi L out of the bracket. Okay, 2 pi L out of the bracket. So our equation will become Q suffix G multiplied by 2 pi RL multiplied by dr is equal to minus K multiplied by 2 pi L multiplied by differentiation of a bracket with respect to R, in the bracket R multiplied by dt divided by dr, bracket complete, multiplied by dr. Okay, now from this side 2 pi L and from this side 2 pi L will be cancelled. From this side dr and from this side dr will be cancelled. Okay, 2 pi L from the left hand side and from the right hand side will be cancelled. Dr from the left hand side and dr from the right hand side will be cancelled. Okay, so what is remaining? Remaining part is q suffix, small q suffix G multiplied by R is equal to minus K multiplied by differentiation of a bracket with respect to R, inside the bracket R multiplied by dt divided by dr. R multiplied by dt divided by dr. Everyone with me? Write down this equation. Is there any doubt, any question? Okay, next what we have to do? We have to transfer the k on this side. So it will become qg multiplied by k, qg multiplied by r divided by k, plus, now if you transfer this, transfer the term on this side, plus the differentiation of bracket with respect to r inside bracket r multiplied by dt divided by dr is equal to 0, is equal to 0. So this is one dimensional steady state conduction equation with internal heat generation, with internal heat generation for cylinder, for cylinder. Getting everyone? Is there any doubt, any question? We can derive this equation by considering general heat conduction equation in a cylindrical coordinate system. We have already derived this equation in general heat conduction equation with general heat conduction equation in cylindrical coordinate system. And if you deduce that particular equation in one dimensional heat transfer with heat generation, you will get the similar equation. You will get the similar equation. Okay. Is there any doubt, any question? Okay, write down this equation. Q suffix g divided by k multiplied by r plus differentiation of a bracket with respect to r inside the bracket r multiplied by dt divided by dr is equal to 0. Give this equation number as equation A. Equation number as equation A. This is one-dimensional steady-state heat conduction equation with internal heat generation for cylinder. Write down the comment below that equation. This is one-dimensional steady-state heat conduction equation with internal heat generation for cylinder. Over, everyone with me? Have you written the equation? Have you written the comment? Okay. Now further we have to determine the temperature distribution equation. Further we have to determine the temperature distribution equation. And in a similar fashion, what we have done in case of wall, that we have differentiated the general heat conduction equation. We have integrated the general heat conduction equation, and we have calculated the general heat conduction equation with constants, okay, after double differentiation. And then further we have calculated that particular constant by considering some kinds of boundary conditions. That similar methodology we need to apply over here to calculate the temperature diffusion or to derive the temperature distribution equation. Okay, so write down, in order to calculate temperature distribution equation, 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 we have to integrate above equation number A. We have to integrate above equation number A. Okay, above equation number A twice. Okay, 2 times we have to integrate this because double differentiation is there. So to remove out that differentiation and to get the pure temperature term, we have to differentiate this. We have to integrate this equation number A twice. Okay. So in order to calculate, write down, in order to calculate temperature distribution equation, we have to integrate above equation A twice. We have to integrate above equation A twice. So first integration we have applied to this particular equation number A. So integration of q suffix g divided by k multiplied by r plus integration of differentiation with respect to r of bracket in bracket r multiplied by dt divided by dr is equal to 0, is equal to 0. So after integration, after first integration, q suffix g divided by k is the constant, so it will remain as it is. Only r is the variable, so integration of r will become r square divided by 2. Integration of r become r square divided by 2 plus, now one integration, one differentiation will be cancelled. One integration, one differentiation will be cancelled, and the bracket term will be remain over here. So plus r multiplied by dt divided by dr. Okay, r multiplied by dt divided by dr is equal to one constant, integration constant we have to add over here. So one integration constant we have added, that is nothing but c1. Okay, is equal to c1. So after integration, first integration, what equation we are getting? Qg divided by k plus Qg divided by k multiplied by r square divided by 2 plus r multiplied by dt divided by dr is equal to c1. Okay, dt divided by dr is equal to c1. Okay, now once we have reached up to this equation, further integration will be done by separating the variables. Okay, by separating the variables. Okay, so for that reason we have to, first of all we have to divide by r throughout the equation. Okay, we have to divide by r throughout the equation. So divide by r throughout the equation, so we'll get q suffix g divided by k multiplied by r by 2 plus dt divided by dr is equal to c1 divided by r. Okay, divide by r throughout the equation. What we'll get? Qg divided by k multiplied by r by 2 plus dt divided by dr is equal to c1 divided by r. Okay. Next. So now here the dr is there. Reason multiply throughout the equation by dr, then and then only the dr from the denominator side will be removed. Okay, so multiply dr throughout, multiply dr throughout, so we'll get the equation as qg divided by k multiplied by r by 2 multiplied by dr plus dt is equal to c1 divided by r multiplied by dr, c1 divided by r multiplied by dr. Okay, once the variables are separated, again you can integrate the equation. Again you can integrate that particular equation very easily. So integration of dt, okay, plus integration of qg divided by k multiplied by r by 2 multiplied by dr is equal to integration of c1 divided by r multiplied by dr. Okay, integration of dt plus integration of qg divided by k multiplied by r by 2 multiplied by dr is equal to integration of c1 divided by r multiplied by dr. Okay, so integration of dt will become t. Okay, integration of dt is t. Integration of r by 2 is r square divided by 2. R is r square. Integration of r is r square divided by 2, and initially r divided by 2 is there, so it will become r square divided by 4. Then integration of 1 upon r is ln of r log r. Okay, integration of 1 upon r is log r, so that the equation we will get after second time integration is nothing but t plus qg divided by k multiplied by r square divided by 4 is equal to c1 multiplied by ln of r, and one integration constant we have to add for the second integration, that is plus c2. Okay, plus c2. So convert this equation in the form of a t. convert this equation in the form of a T. So that will be the general heat conduction equation for cylinder with constants. Okay, with constants. Further, what we have to do? We have to apply the boundary condition and find out the C1 and C2 values, or C1 and C2 quantities. Now here the conditions are different one. Okay, one condition is same, but another condition is different one. So that we have to give more focus on the condition. Okay. So write down up to this particular point. Now from this particular point, the derivation is somewhat different than the walled case derivation. Okay, up till now it is similar kind of a derivation as that of a wall. Only the variables are changed. Instead of x thickness, here the radius is introduced, and accordingly we have derived. The area is different one in case of a wall. Area is different one in case of a cylinder one. Okay, cylinder. So that is the only difference, but the methodology to derive the equations up to this particular equation number B is similar as that of wall. Okay, as that of wall. So here, from here, the equation will be different uh, the cylinder. Okay, so first boundary condition, what we have to consider? So that is the question, and the answer is here. So boundary condition here, we have to consider that whatever the heat is generated by the rod, that heat generated by the rod is transferred to the rod surface or lost by conduction at the rod surface. इसका मतलब क्या है? जितनी हीट रॉड में जनरेट हो रही है वो सब हीट रॉड के सरफेस को ट्रांसफर की जा रही है. ओके, जितनी हीट रॉड में जनरेट हो रही है वो रॉड के ऊपर का जो रॉड का सरफेस है उस रॉड के सरफेस पर ट्रांसफर की जा रही है. ये यहाँ पे कंडीशन कंसीडर करनी है हमें. ये यहाँ पे कंडीशन कंसीडर करनी है हमें. सो हीट जनरेटेड इज इक्वल टू heat lost by conduction at the rod surface. Heat generated is equal to heat lost by conduction at the rod surface. So we can say that Q suffix G, capital Q suffix G, that is the heat generation per unit time, which is equal to heat conduction to the rod surface. Okay, rod surface कितने distance पर है? Okay, rod surface center से कितने distance पर है? So which is equal to capital R. Okay, capital R distance पर है. So we can say that heat lost by the conduction at the rod surface will be equal to, according to the Fourier's law, minus K multiplied by A multiplied by dt divided by dr when R is equal to capital R. When R is equal to capital R. When R is equal to capital R. Okay, write down the condition 1. Condition 1. Heat generated is equal to heat lost by conduction at the rod surface. Heat generated is equal to heat lost by conduction at the rod surface. Therefore Qg is equal to capital Q suffix G is equal to capital Q suffix G is equal to minus K multiplied by A multiply by dt divided by dr minus K multiplied by A multiply by dt divided by dr, or differentiation of T with respect to R when R is equal to capital R. So you have to write in the suffix R is equal to capital R. R is equal to capital R. Okay, complete rod का radius कितना है? Capital R इतना है. तो surface हमें कहाँ पे मिलेगा? Capital R पे ही मिलेगा surface. Okay, so we can say that when small r is equal to capital R, at that time whatever the heat conducted to that particular point is nothing but heat lost by conduction at the rod surface. Okay, then what is the Qg? What is meant by Qg? Qg is nothing but heat generated per unit volume per unit time multiply by its volume. Okay, so rod का वॉल्यूम कितना होता है? नाउ यहाँ पे हमें इनिशियली हमने एलिमेंट का वॉल्यूम कंसीडर किया था. तो उस केस में हमने एरिया मल्टीप्लाई बाय थिकनेस ले लिया था। ओके, एरिया मल्टीप्लाई बाय थिकनेस लिया था। नाउ यहाँ पे हमें क्या कंसीडर करना है, कंप्लीट रॉड का वॉल्यूम कंसीडर करना है। सो वी हैव टू कंसीडर द फॉर्मूला ऑफ Q suffix G multiply by volume of rod is nothing but pi r square multiply by L. Okay, volume of rod is nothing but pi r square multiply by L. Okay, which is equal to माइनस के मल्टीप्लाई बाय रॉड का सरफेस एरिया कितना है, 2 पाई आर एल इतना है। ओके, सरफेस एरिया का इक्वेशन क्या होता है रॉड के बारे में, 2 पाई आर एल। ओके, 2 पाई आर एल। ओके, मल्टीप्लाई बाय differentiation of t with respect to r when small r is equal to capital R. Okay, when small r is equal to capital R. Write down this equation. Small q suffix g multiply by in bracket pi r square l, pi r square l is equal to is equal to is equal to is equal to minus k is equal to minus k multiply by inside bracket 2 pi rl। 2 pi rl क्या है, रॉड का सरफेस एरिया है। 2 pi rl क्या है, रॉड का सरफेस एरिया है। मल्टीप्लाई बाय dt divided by dr, multiply by dt divided by dr inside the bracket dt divided by dr suffix r is equal to capital R when r is equal to capital R. Okay, small r is equal to capital R. Okay, now from this side pi and square of r will be cancelled. Okay, and from this side pi and r will be cancelled. Okay, and also L. Okay, pi square of r and L will be cancelled, and here pi r L will be cancelled. Okay, so we'll get the equation q suffix g multiply by r, q suffix g multiply by r is equal to minus 2k multiply by differentiation of t with respect to r when r is equal to capital R, when r is equal to capital R. Write down the equation. Then convert this equation in the form of a temperature differentiation of temperature with respect to r when small r is equal to capital R. Okay, convert this equation in the form of a temperature differentiation of a temperature with respect to r when r is equal to capital R. Okay, which is equal to minus q suffix g multiply by r, minus q suffix g multiply by r divided by 2k, divided by 2k. Okay, so give this equation number C, give this equation number C. Okay, equation number C. So now we are getting this equation for differentiation of t with respect to r when small r is equal to capital R, when small r is equal to capital R. Now we have to determine the differentiation of a t with respect to r for this particular equation, for this particular temperature, for this particular general heat conduction equation. Okay, once again we have to determine particular dt divided by dr when r is equal to r. So to determine this from equation number b, we have to differentiate equation number b. Okay, we have to differentiate equation number b. Okay, so everyone with me, everyone reach up to this equation number C. Is there any doubt, any question? Okay, now differentiate equation b. Write down. Now differentiate equation b with respect to r. So what is our equation b? Equation b is t is equal to minus q suffix g divided by k multiply by r square divided by 4 plus c1 multiply by ln of r plus c2. Okay, this is our equation number b, and we have to determine the dt divided by dr when small r is equal to capital R. So to get dt divided by dr or differentiation of t with respect to r, we have to differentiate this equation number b with respect to r. So our equation number b is t is equal to minus q suffix g divided by k multiply by r square divided by 4 plus c1 multiplied by ln of r plus c2. Okay. Once you differentiate this particular equation with respect to r, what you will get? You will get differentiation of t with respect to r is dt divided by dr is equal to q minus q suffix g divided by k is the constant. We have keep this particular term as it is. Differentiation of r square divided by 4 will become 2r divided by 4. Differentiation of r square is 2r. Differentiation of r square is 2r. So we will get 2r divided by 4 plus differentiation of ln of r. C1 is the constant. Okay. Differentiation of ln of r is 1 upon r. Okay. And differentiation of constant C2 is 0. Okay. Differentiation of constant C2 is 0. So what you will get? Dt divided by dr. Dt divided by dr will be equal to minus q suffix g divided by k multiplied by 2r divided by 4 plus c1 divided by 1 upon r, c1 multiplied by 1 upon r plus 0. Okay. So we have done some calculation. Just 2 divided by 4 will become 1 by 2. Okay. So dt divided by dr is equal to minus q suffix g divided by k multiplied by r by 2 plus c1 divided by 2. C1 divided by r. C1 divided by r. Okay. Now we have to determine dt divided by dr when small r is equal to capital R. So for that reason, we have taken small r is equal to capital R, and then we will get the equation D. Okay. So dt divided by dr when small r is equal to capital R will be equal to, whenever there is a small r, we have to replace that small r with capital R. Okay. With capital R. So we'll get the equation for differentiation of t with respect to r when the radius is equal to the complete radius. The radius is equal to complete radius. Okay. Complete radius of r, which is equal to minus qg divided by k multiplied by r by 2 plus c1 divided by r. That equation we have to give the equation number as equation number D. Okay. Equation number D. Is there any question, any doubt? Is there any question, any doubt? Please let me know whether you have any question, any doubt. Okay. Okay. So now here we once again calculate or derive the equation for differentiation of t with respect to r when r is equal to capital R. And also here from the equation number C, also we will get differentiation of t with respect to r when r is equal to small r. Okay. So we are equating these two equations from equation C and D. Okay. From equation C and D we can write. So from equation C we will get that dt divided by dr when small r is equal to capital R, we will get minus qg multiplied by r, minus qg multiplied by r divided by 2k. Okay. From equation C we will get this equation for differentiation of t with respect to r when r is equal to r. And from equation number D we'll get the equation of minus q suffix g divided by k multiplied by r by 2 plus c1 divided by r plus c1 divided by r. Okay. So now from this side minus qg multiplied by r divided by 2k, and from this side minus qg divided by multiplied by r divided by 2k will be cancelled. Okay. Will be cancelled. Okay. Or if you transfer this sign, it will be plus 1, and from this minus and plus will be cancelled. Okay. So remaining term is only here on the left side, nothing will remain. So 0, and from right hand side the C1 divided by R will be remaining. Okay, and we will get C1 is equal to 0. That is our first constant. Okay, we'll get C1 is equal to 0. That is our first constant. Getting everyone? Is there any doubt, any question? Everyone with me? Have you written all the points? Okay, first constant we have derived now. Okay, from boundary condition number 1, we have derived the first constant, that is C1. We'll get the value of C1 is equal to 0 directly. C1 is equal to 0. Okay, C1 is equal to 0. Okay, now next we have to apply the second condition. Second condition, what is the second condition? Second condition is that when small r is equal to capital R, T becomes TW. Okay, जब हम रॉड के सरफेस पर होते हैं तब रेडियस कितना होता है? टोटल रेडियस होता है. कंप्लीट रेडियस ऑफ रॉड इज कैपिटल आर और रॉड के सरफेस का टेम्परेचर कितना है? TW इतना है. सो दैट इज नथिंग बट rod surface temperature. Okay, so we can consider the second condition as when small r is equal to capital R, then T is equal to TW. Okay, small r becomes capital R, at that time T becomes TW, that is the surface temperature of rod, and we have to apply this particular condition for equation number B. Equation number B is our general equation with the constant, and we have to apply this particular condition for the equation number B. So equation B is T is equal to minus Q suffix G divided by K multiply by R square divided by 4 plus C1 ln of R plus C2. That is equation number B. Okay. Now apply the boundary conditions. Boundary condition number 2. Boundary condition number 2. So when R is equal to capital R, T is equal to TW. Okay. Replace small r with capital R in the equation and T with T suffix W. Okay, so we have replaced T by T suffix W, which is equal to minus QG divided by K multiply by, here small r we have replaced with the capital R, that is R square divided by 4 plus C1 remaining as it is multiply by ln of small r we have replaced by the capital R plus C2. Okay, plus C2, we'll get this equation. Okay, now we have already determined the C1. Okay, we have already determined the C1 and C1 is 0. Okay, so just put up that particular C1 value in the equation. So then what we'll get? We'll get TW is equal to minus QG divided by K multiply by R square multiply by 4 plus C1 is 0 multiply by ln of capital R plus C2. Okay, so from this particular equation we'll get the value of C2. Okay, directly we'll get the value of C2. Okay, this particular term will become 0 and C2 will become, if you transfer the first term from the right hand side to the left hand side, we'll get the C2. Okay, so C2 will become TW plus QG divided by K multiply by R square divided by 4. Multiply by R square divided by 4. C1 we have calculated initially. C1 is equal to 0 by applying first boundary condition. Now we have applied the second boundary condition, that when R is equal to capital R, at that time T is equal to TW. This particular boundary condition we have applied to the equation number B, which is our general heat conduction equation with the constants, and we have apply the boundary condition R is equal to capital R, T is equal to TW for this particular equation, and we will get the equation in the form of a C2. Okay, or we'll get the equation for the C2. Okay, and C2 is equal to TW plus QG divided by K multiply by R square divided by 4. R square divided by 4. So everyone with me? Everyone reach up to this point? C2 is equal to T suffix W, that is the surface temperature of rod, plus QG divided by K multiply by R square divided by 4. Okay, Now once you get this C1 and C2 values, put up C1 and C2 values is in equation number B. Okay, put up C1 and C2 values in equation number B. So our equation number B is T is equal to minus Qg divided by K multiplied by small r square divided by 4 plus C1 multiplied by ln of r plus C2. Now put up C1 and C2 in equation number B. Okay, so C1 is 0 and C2 is Tw plus Qg divided by K multiplied by r square divided by 4. Okay, put up these values in equation number B. Then we will get the equation as T is equal to minus Qg divided by K multiplied by r square divided by 4 plus C1 is 0, 0 multiplied by ln of r plus C2 is Tw plus Qg divided by K multiplied by r square divided by 4 multiplied by r square divided by 4. Okay. Now convert this equation in the form of a temperature distribution equation. If you put up the value, just remaining part is we have to rearrange the term. Okay, we have to rearrange the term. So we'll get the temperature distribution equation as, if you transfer this Tw on this side, so it will become T minus Tw, which is equal to, and if you take the Qg divided by K common from remaining two terms, which is here, remaining two terms, that is Qg divided by K, if you take the common, then in the bracket it will remain as r square divided by 4, capital R square divided by 4 minus small r square divided by 4. Okay, so capital R is the total radius of that particular rod, and small r is nothing but at what location in the cylinder or in the rod we want to find out, we want to determine the temperature. Okay, that particular location we have to put up over here. Tw is the wall temperature, we can put up here, and we can determine the required temperature at that particular location. Location distance from the center we can put up here. Okay, wall surface temperature we can put up here. Other things are is the total radius of that particular rod, and we can determine the particular location or at a particular radius temperature as T. Okay, which is the variable. Okay, which is the variable. Okay, so T minus Tw is equal to Qg divided by K multiplied by r square divided by 4 minus r square divided by 4. Okay, r square divided by 4 minus capital R square divided by 4 minus small r square divided by 4. Or you can take common 4 also, you can take common, no problem. So Qg divided by 4K multiply by in bracket r capital R square minus small r square, capital R square minus small r square. So this is our temperature distribution equation. This is temperature distribution equation. This is temperature distribution equation. Getting everyone? Is there any question, any doubt up till now? So you can determine, okay, there is no need to explain further things, how to determine the location of maximum temperature and how to consider the dissipation of a heat from the surface to the surrounding. Okay, so to determine the location of maximum temperature, what we need to do, we have to differentiate this particular temperature distribution equation with respect to dr, okay, and equate it to the 0, okay, and then we will get the location of a maximum temperature, okay, in the form of a small r. And if you equate to the whatever the heat dissipated to the surface, that heat will be transferred to the surrounding. If you consider that thing, then in that case you have to apply the Newton's law of cooling, and we have to equate that particular equation to the heat transfer to the surface. Okay, and then we will get the equation in the form of a Tw, and you have to replace that Tw equation in this particular temperature distribution equation also, and also in maximum temperature equation. Okay, so further part we will discuss in the next lecture, that is location of maximum temperature. If you have any time, free time at home, you can try this, no issue. Okay, so how we are doing this particular point, location of maximum temperature. we are differentiating this particular temperature distribution equation with respect to x, and we are equating it equal to 0. So we will get the maximum temperature at R is equal to 0. That is nothing but at the center. Okay. Then further, what will be the value of that particular maximum temperature? So for that reason, whatever the location we are getting, that we are putting, that particular location we are putting in a temperature distribution equation. Okay. So here we can say that at R is equal to 0, T is equal to T max. Okay. So by putting that particular, we will get the maximum temperature. Okay. And at the last, if you consider that the heat, whatever the heat is reached to the surface of rod, that heat is dissipated to the surrounding. In that case, we have to consider that the heat lost by conduction. Okay, here somewhat missing. Okay, initially one one condition we have considered, that the heat generated is equal to heat lost by conduction at the rod surface. Okay, and heat, how much heat is lost to the conduction to the by the conduction to the rod surface, that much amount of heat will be transferred or dissipated to the environment, so we can say that the heat generated is equal to heat lost by the conduction at the rod surface, and heat lost by the conduction at the rod surface, which is equal to energy dissipated or heat dissipated by convection. So we can say that from these two particular equation, we can say that heat generated is equal to energy dissipated by convection or heat. Here I will write heat. Okay, heat. Okay, heat dissipated here also. Okay, by considering this, we can easily do the calculation. Okay, energy, heat generated Qg multiplied by volume pi r square L, and heat dissipated by convection. Convection formula we have used H multiplied by A multiplied by delta T, where A for the cylinder is 2 pi RL, and temperature difference between the surface of cylinder or that particular rod and environment is TW minus TA, and from that we can calculate TW. Okay, and we have to replace that TW in the T max. We'll get the T max temperature. Okay, so that part we will discuss in the next lecture. Okay, but just I want to show you the overview of further derivation. Okay, and in the next lecture we'll take 2 to 3 problems on this particular point. Okay, so up till now, is there any problem up to this particular point? Where we reach up to the temperature distribution equation. Okay, temperature distribution equation. Is there any doubt, any problem, any question? Whether you understood or not, please let me know whether you understood or not, or should I repeat the things? Whether you understood, please let me know. You can comment in the chat box, or you can unmute. Okay, no issue. You can comment your roll numbers in the chat box and you can leave. Okay. Remaining student, just put up your roll numbers and you can leave. Sixteen, 51, 57.